Hey, what's happening, everyone? Aaron Jackson here with the Rotation Report. This is not financial advice, Rush Hour 4 edition. And if you're not familiar with the Rush Hour series, basically in every movie, they have a bomb in a casino. And that's what we have here. We just have another bomb in the stock market casino. And, lots going on, right? Basically, every semiconductor company that comes out, very real shortages. They're going to last into next year. You got a lot of component companies. They're starting to invest in CapEx building out. We don't know about that. And when you look at some of these secondary indicators, especially today, we've got private equity blowing up, basically. So we'll see how that goes. But you're just going to keep hearing it all week. AMD earnings tonight. Guess what they're going to say? Endless demand, plenty of demand. We all know, we all get it. For now, there's a shortage. Is it economic demand? Is the market going to be able to handle all of these losses on these projects while they fight for market share? When we get, 9, 12, 18 months, 2 years out, it's really getting a little more questionable. But if there's anything you guys want to talk about, just throw it in the chat there. If anyone's tuning in, I don't know. It's the middle of a Tuesday. I would think probably not. But, that's just what we want to keep in mind here. They are torching capital. But, at the moment, it's just shortages. So first up, might as well just roll with Oracle. Let's get this chart refreshed here. They only needed to raise 50 billion to fund CapEx, which, okay, that's good because last quarter they were talking about needing to raise, the analysts were thinking it's going to be 100 billion. And obviously the market rejected that. But no, just 50 billion. But that means they're building less data centers. Market does not care because all the algorithms are pushing prices higher. And as long as the algorithms are on your side, that's a good thing, right? Like we don't care about reality. We want to make sure just have the algorithms on your side at the very least. And you can see, I thought that was pretty good news for them. And then the market just said, nah. So we zoom out on the weekly and my God, it's gotten pretty bad. That 200-week moving average, 136 stands out. That 120, mid 120s zone, something like that, 120. You're really going to want to chill out on the bearishness down there for sure if that's just what they're doing there. Then let's get into the private equity. We were talking Blackstone. They recently lost the trend from the 2022 low. That uptrend was gone, but it's a nice, the ascent of the line was pretty, making you think it could firm up at some point. But here we are, the trend off the Liberation Day low, broken, recent low, broken. We got problems in this private equity. I think we've got some more charts out here, but I want to get into, I got a whole list of them here. Let's take a peek. Blue Owl Capital, 52-week lows, Aries, 52-week lows, this TPG, 52-week lows, KKR down 8%, even BlackRock down 3.5%. So, sure, endless demand being reported every quarter in the AI, but also we got problems brewing. And then here's software versus semis crashed to fresh all-time lows. The low of the ratio, not seen since the 2002 tech low after the tech bubble. So pretty wild. And you can see the weekly RSI printing a 12 here. This kind of reminds you of gold versus oil. I'm not saying it's the same thing. Certainly not. But, ratio wise, holy hell, huh? So definitely keeping an eye on that one. Wouldn't be surprised if that converts sooner than later. But, another thing that's really standing out is over the last week, a lot of noise, but we have the 10-year U.S. Treasury yield that actually broke through the 100-day moving average and then has bottomed there. So that's kind of interesting. First signs of maybe higher rates that we've seen, in quite some time. And then the momentum, ETF, MTUM, failing to break out again. They keep trying to break this thing out. And man, this price action, freaking Sunday night in the middle of the night, pretty big gap down in the index futures. And you're like, whoa, inside days breaking lower. And then by last night, the NASDAQ 100 futures were up 4%, just frustrating the hell on short, including myself. But I'll tell you what, real weird thing about yesterday was if you were short shit growth, man, they were all ripping 6%. And then some of the quantum, yeah, Rigetti's green. Some of these things are green. So that's very interesting. But then, yeah, here's the private equity PSP. Yep, 4%, 4% down. I don't even know. Let's dig into this a little bit. Where would we even, maybe there's some support around here, but for now, just an easy avoid. They've got problems. And then one thing about the minor sell-off, the gold sell-off from Friday, check that out. Yesterday, mining versus the S&P 500, it just back tested the old October high there and has bounced. A lot of strong action in mining today, but setups were not really there. It was just like, well, you're in the trend and you're just riding them. And so don't really know how that's going to play out. The best setup I could find, Alpha Metallurgical Resources, it's still making coal. Just nice pullback there to the recent low in the 50-day moving average. I don't think earnings are anytime soon. Let's take a quick peek. Maybe end of the month. And then there was oil yesterday. You get the war premium coming off. That probably helped the market bounce a little bit. But then you can see like just stair stepping higher here. I think oil's up today. Yeah, up a little bit today. So you're basically just kind of hanging out there above this old 62 zone, maybe above the 200-day there. Yeah, just above it, just above it. So it's just been stair stepping its way higher here as the war premium has come off. And I don't know if you guys are have any thoughts on like defense stocks. I haven't seen any good entries in defense stocks. I know the space stocks pull back a lot, like your drones. And then every time you get a SpaceX headline, this, these junky space names just rip hard, but kind of interested in some pullbacks in defense, but haven't really found anything sweet. And then, we've got oil and gas producers here. Let's see how it closes the week. The 200-week moving average, 135.75. Keep an eye on that one. It looked like it just kind of found a bid there, but long ways to go this week. And then, so we've got these growth names. They're starting to break down from these 200-day moving averages, and we're just like, okay, is this the real deal? It kind of looks like the real deal. Robinhood had a nice little extension area right there at mid 89s. It bounced like twice, maybe three times intraday off that zone, and it just keeps bleeding out as crypto is just really challenged. And then MicroStrategy kind of bleeding out here below the 200-week moving average. Is Sailor underwater? Is that part of what we've got going on here? Maybe, but we look at the weekly pivot, we're somewhere around here. You can draw this line 120, somewhere around here. You would think maybe there's an attempt at a bounce, but the moral of the story has been like, just no, right? And then networking, a lot of networking reporting this week. They've got shortages too. And, we've seen SanDisk and Micron, basically anybody who's reporting, and they're like, shortages. The market has just been rewarding them as the hedge funds kind of pile into these shortages trades. And that's fine. That's whatever. Is networking next? Maybe, because networking is not just data centers, although it's a lot of data center. Let's look at a couple names here. Astera Labs, got a nice little bounce here after testing the 200-day moving average. And it's also the post-election peak there. So that's an interesting area. You could say, this chart is sloppy, doesn't look great. And I agree. But, you never know when these things turn around. But we had a similar type of look in Credo, except for more distribution. 200-day moving average here, flushing everyone out. Is that a top, or is it just flushing everyone out? I mean, I think we lean top in all of these sort of patterns, but, can't just say there's no, like a 0% chance it reverses, but very small probably. And then Cisco Systems. Yeah, look at this thing, just taking out the 2000 tech bubble high today. And, you want to talk about a safer company within the networking space. That's a big component in NWX. Well, there you go. So definitely keeping an eye on this one. It could go pretty hard, but again, we'll just have to see how that plays out. And then there's Palantir. We've been seeing this setup where it's like, okay, top, you lose the 200-day moving average. But now they had an awesome earnings, right? Just epic growth, trying to fight back to get back above the 200-day moving average. Cool, cool, cool. I think we saw something like this in internet. Oh, here's FN. This is, I think they're an NVIDIA supplier. And that's right in the networking group too. While we're here, we might as well just hit it. They're NVIDIA supplier, networking, but they had supply constraints, shortages, problems. And you can see the market's been kind of like telling you, no, we got problems here for this last couple months. And, people just keep piling in. But back to the other point I wanted to make, First Internet Index here, FDN, that had the nice little break of the 200-day moving average. And then they put up a big fight, squeeze, rip. Oh, look, we're back above it. And then, nope, just kind of rolling back over to the low here. Internet Group at risk for sure. And then, but interestingly, we were talking about those shit growth stocks like your Quantum down yesterday, but then you have this D-Wave Quantum QBTS right here. It's an extension out of the, post SPAC IPO base. It's also a key pivot zone and the 200-day moving average all right here. So, is there a quantum something at the White House coming soon? Is that what we're doing here? That could be it. That could be it. My God, there's always something going down with the White House, right? And then looking at some of these names, Figure Technology, this was a hot recent IPO. My God, it kind of fell apart over this last week, but this 46 area and 50-day moving average are right here. And if it wants to firm up, which I don't know, the backdrop does not seem very conducive to that at the moment. But if it did, right around here, 45, 46, and this 50-day moving average with this RSI right here, man, that would be interesting for a trade, even just like a couple-day trade. But probably going to want to see at least some sign of reversal first. And yeah, look, there's definitely a bomb in the casino, like no doubt about it. You go through the S&P 500 chart book, and the best charts, I got a whole list of them here. They're all the most boring, basic things. I mean, we're talking toothpaste. We're talking cable. We've got, just the worst, the staples, Walmart, Coca-Cola, Pepsi, that type of shit. It's all just these boring, safe stocks. Republic Waste Services, the trash, you understand? Like chicken, Tyson chicken, okay? Verizon, okay? So this is money rotating to like safety, despite all the madness going on and all the chasing and all that. This is telling us like, definitely stay vigilant, definitely be careful. But at the same time, we've got bull markets all over the place. And industrials are making new highs this morning. Materials making new highs this morning. And it's just not, it's like, sure, okay, data centers overdone, blows up, but there's still just so much else going on out there. It's like, there are a lot to like, but, you don't want to be overly focused on data center right now. Here's shipping, commodity shipper, Navios Maritime Partners, NMM. Look at this thing, long-term, sick, head and shoulders, bottom base. Nobody knows about it. Nobody talks about it. Broke out. You got the back test here, and now it just keeps grinding. That's 52-week highs now, just slowly and continually grinding as the environment is kind of sketch. But then here we go with Paychex. Yes, that would be the Paychex who does the paychecks for people, breaking down. And, if people are not getting paychecks, what are they doing? Are they buying the dip in AI? Ooh, they might be, but also they might be selling their out of their retirement funds if they really have to. And that could be part of the problem as well here. And honestly would have thought this area would have held up better here in Paychex, but it ain't. And then just put this Solaris here, just another turbine name, energy services. I just put it here for myself. Wanted to keep an eye on it as it was trying to make new 52-week highs today. Really not sure about this one. I got 100 target on it. I put a bullish call out on it, but we need to see some overbought conditions here. And then yes, AMD earnings tonight. Yeah, I think we prefer AMD over Nvidia here. Just a nice couple year bottom shaping up here, but it'll be a big earnings tonight. AMD is more inference, Nvidia is more about training. So like that. And then we were talking materials, 52-week highs. Yeah, stuff like this Element Solutions. I think this remains one of the best materials names in the book because it's basically materials for tech, whether that's defense tech, data center, whatever, electronics manufacturing, all of it, all of it. Hey Jerry, what's going on? Yes, Action Jackson. Actually, that's the name on my rec league basketball jersey. Hell yeah, Action Jackson. Let's go. Yeah, but I don't know. Is there anything you guys want to talk about? Got a couple minutes here. Not really sure. I know they're trying to squeeze these CoreWeaves, and it's very lumpy in the crypto AI infrastructure. TeraWulf, I believe they have a partnership with Google, and like Google's the most legit one, so we don't want to fade that, right? Let's see. Looks all right, but no thanks. No thanks. This thing is very much at risk of just selling off to the 200-day moving average like we'd expect there. Galaxy Digital, yes, they were doing all the crypto / data center. Yeah, down. Let's look at how that's going for them. Yeah, absolutely shitting the bed here. Although somebody's going to buy it around 22, that could be a giant top there. We'll see. Let's see how Tom Lee's doing with his little crypto adventure. Okay. Bleeding out pretty good. There's no relevant support around Ethereum 2100. We kind of like that. Kind of like the 2100, but I mean, if you read the room, fuck that. I mean, honestly, like Jesus Christ. We've got Spotify. Yeah. How's the consumer doing? Well, Spotify, Liberation Day low here. So could be better. Looks a lot like Netflix. It's almost the same kind of setup here. Netflix, right back. New 52-week lows. That seems bad. But yeah. What do you think of UI? I heard something about UI. Oh boy. Interesting. Wedged up here, 200-day catching up. There's reports that they're supplying some bad foreign government. I can't remember which bad foreign government. It might be Russia. Not sure, but technically, hanging in there for with the 200-day catching up. You don't hate that. You got this open gap above. You think maybe you get a rip into it, but yeah, lagging a lot lately, huh? How about it? Don't like that as much. It's hard to find information on these guys too. The owner, the CEO here owns the Memphis Grizzlies, and he's just locked everything down this whole time. But have heard very good things about the products from Tech Bros. But interesting. Yeah, as long as it holds, this recent low area, this 200-day moving average area, then whatever, you might get a shakeout, but 500, something like that, seems all right. And if you get the networking rip, I mean, it's definitely a global shortage for networking. What else we got here? I don't know. I don't have too much else. Just, definitely stay vigilant out there. Just outright sell. No, definitely tighten up your stops though. Tighten up your plans. Be ready for anything because, it's just an explosive backdrop in both directions. No doubt about that. And yeah, if you guys like the video, do me a favor and like the video. And until next time, everyone, y'all have a great day.